left to right. Russell Westbrook.
You love the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me get a hell yeah!
What is up, everybody? It is Deibs, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Welcome to Party on Broad. On tap for today, we are going to react to the 117-106 victory over the Brooklyn Nets. Joining us today, we have Krell TPL on Twitter. Austin, how's it going, man?
Every day is just another wonderful day in the Philadelphia
area. Austin was actually in Wilmington recording at our studio with the Madness podcast, Rob Lange and Jessica Town. How'd it go, man?
For any TPLer who is interested in getting down there, I would highly recommend. It's not a bad drive. It's extremely worth it. And you have an unbelievable experience. I mean, it was exactly, it was probably, I guess, a light version of what, TV production's like. But I mean, we were videoed, there was audio too, lighting and everything. It was very professionally done. And it was, you feel like you're an expert when you go there, and it's a pretty cool feeling.
Awesome. And make sure you check out Austin's most recent article at thepaintedlines.com on goals for every member of the Philadelphia 76ers. Check that out. Joining us today, we also have Jack Connell. Follow him on Twitter at JackConnellTPL. What's up, man?
Nothing much. Sixers win, another great one without Embiid. Just going to keep going through this. I'm ready.
All right. Make sure you follow Jack's other podcast, Post Position, on everything and anything NBA. Anything you want to add in before we get started, man?
Oh, we had an episode we put up, and might have been last week, a couple of days ago. We talked about trade deadline, all-star predictions, all that fun stuff. Who we think's going where, what we think about everything that's going on right now. Dwight Howard in the dunk contest, all that fun stuff. All
right. So the Sixers defeated the Brooklyn Nets 117-106. They moved to 26-16 on the season, 19-2 at home. It was their fifth straight win at home. And this was a little different flavor tonight because I thought you had Toby buckets on one end, but really I thought this game was won in the end by the Sixers defense. Austin, what is a takeaway from this W? Go ahead, man.
I think a takeaway is that we have to reassess how much of when they lose, how much of the blame goes to the coach versus just accepting the fact of the matter that they missed shots. I mean, tonight they made shots and they won the basketball game. Tuesday or Monday, the shots weren't falling and they lost the game. Now, do they have to get better on the road? They need to. And teams that are that far under 500 on the road at the end of the season, they don't win championships. So, you got to get better on the road. But a lot of these issues, it isn't as complicated as Brett Brown this, Brett Brown that, Joel Embiid this. It's just make shots. And it's easier said than done, but sometimes it's the fact of the matter.
Yeah, talk about hitting shots. The Sixers really started slow in this game. They were 1 for 7 from 3 after the first quarter. They didn't get their first free throw attempt until like 17 minutes into the game. It was just kind of a very boring game in those first 3 quarters. Jack, give us a take, man.
I just want to talk about the complete shutdown of Kyrie Irving. And I don't think it's being talked about enough. He only had 14 points on 6 of 21 shooting, a minus 29 on the floor tonight. The lowest plus-minus by anybody on the Nets by 19. The next one was Taurean Prince with minus 10. He was completely taken out of the game tonight, and that was a huge reason why they won.
Another huge reason why the Sixers won was obviously, I'm going to start off with Ben Simmons. He had 20 points, 11 assists, 6 boards. This dude just started off aggressive in the first quarter. What was it? It was like Ben had 10 points in 8 minutes, man. Yeah, he was just, his defense was just active over and over and over again. Noah Levick had a really interesting tweet. Ben Simmons had 6 of the Sixers' first 9 points on Saturday. He had 8 of their first 17 on Monday. And then he had 10 of their first 18 points tonight. So Ben Simmons starts to be aggressive in games. It's just a matter of can he, maintain that aggressiveness throughout an entire 4 quarters. Go ahead, Austin. Any other takeaways?
That's all I had. I mean, let's take what I think. I think is that we have to stop comparing people currently to players of the past. Like Tobias Harris isn't Jimmy Butler. He's not going to be Jimmy Butler. Tobias Harris is a different kind of scorer, a different kind of player in his own right. And he tonight, 11 fourth quarter points, 24 in the second half total. You just had to let him be played after you saw Jimmy Butler last season. Let him play organically and not in the shadow of somebody else.
Love it. Anything, Jack?
I mean, again, Tobias Harris played great tonight. I mean, Al Horford left some to be desired, but I always appreciate Al through thick and thin. Doesn't matter if I like him as good, I gotta like him as bad. So, Matisse played great defense tonight. He was absolutely shut down. Don't know why James Ennis didn't play so much. I mean, he kind of got admits more towards the end, but I don't know why they keep rolling with Mike Scott. I don't get it.
I like this. I love the Sixers defense, man. When you look at the crunch time of the Sixers on defense, you had Josh Richardson smothering Kyrie Irving. I think he blocked his shot. Then you had Ben Simmons just forcing Spencer Dinwiddie to a turnover. You had great rotation on defense that led to a shot clock violation. Al Horford challenging Kyrie Irving and doing on Kyrie to kind of end the game, essentially. I love my Sixers winning with defense. That was a good take. Do you want to do some grades and we'll wrap it up?
Sure, let's do it.
Al Horford had 14 points, 8 boards, 6 assists. This was a guy who struggled with his shot, but I thought had a solid overall game. Jack, what grade would you assign Al Horford?
B-, just because I don't like how many 3-point shots he takes.
He definitely settles for way too many 3-pointers. It's just not clicking. How about you, Austin?
For Al Horford, I think it's so tough. Obviously, the sample size now is like, hey, you've had opportunities to play without Joel Embiid to be the guy you were in Boston. You're just not that guy right now. Whether that's a product of having a point guard who won't shoot, whether that's a product of the coach, I think right now it's fair to say, look, Al Horford has he's had opportunities. He might just be regressing as part of age. His shots are missing short now a lot, and that happens when you have for tonight. I think Al gets a B. His shooting was poor, but his overall game was very strong, and he defended the rim in the fourth quarter very well.
I couldn't agree more. I'm right around that B. 2 for 9 from 3-point range is not gonna do it, man. Are you leaning towards trading Al Horford? Just give me a quick yes or no at the trade deadline. Jack?
No.
Austin?
I think I would, but I don't see the deal that's gonna be there for him now, especially with Embiid out.
Yeah, I'm a no right now. I'm more of a get Ben some help on that bench. I want to see this lineup a little bit longer. Let's move on to Tobias Harris. 34 points, 10 boards. Wow, 3 assists. This guy, he shot 14 of 20 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3. Like you said before, Austin, he was everything come crunch time. 7 points in the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. A+. Go ahead, Austin.
A+. I'll give him A+. And the only reason I hesitate was I would like to see him be a little more aggressive throughout the game and hunting his shots. I mean, without Joel Embiid there, he's the leading scorer on the team.
That's what you need.
Go have yourself a 2-half game. Now, am I glad that he had 24 in the second half? Of course. They don't win the game without him. But I look at him.
Go ahead, Jack.
I'll go Sam. Just give him A+. I think Tobias played great. Great shooting towards the end there. He's never really liability in defensive end. He's never really great. But I mean, you can just be like, okay, he's trying. Like, he's doing good. So I don't really have a problem with him defensively. In offense, he did what he needed to do. Dropped 34 points, and he did great.
Then we have Ben Simmons, 20 points, 11 assists, like we discussed. He had some really nifty plays. Like, he had a spin move in the first quarter. I'm probably like around that like A- range for Ben. I was just very impressed with this game. Go ahead, Jack. What's your grade for Ben?
I give it an A. The one thing that I saw that I don't know people saw is somebody came up to give a screen. Whoever Simmons was guarding, it was gonna be a switch, and Kyrie pushed away. He didn't want Ben Simmons guarding him. I mean, he was playing lockdown defensively like he does every night against some of the best guys in the league. I think that contributes a lot to what he does. Great passing ball. He was very aggressive to start. I think he always just tries to be aggressive, but these teams kind of close off the interior, and he isn't able to get those shots that he likes to get, those dunks, those driving layups, as much as he does to start the game, which kind of shows, like you kind of should have said, he gets 10 points to start, but he'll finish like 20. And I think that's a lot of the main reason to it. But overall, I mean, he played his game like he needs to, and I give him an A. I think he did good.
I did. I agree. And there was one play at the very end there where he picked up his dribble in the paint and threw it to Al Horford on the perimeter. Those plays just make me go crazy, but overall, phenomenal game by Ben Simmons. How about you, Austin? What grade would you give Ben?
Same Ben Simmons from the last couple nights. Uber aggressive in the first half. He had 15 points in the first half. Second half, he had 5 in the third quarter, 0 in the fourth. He could score more if he wanted to. I'm starting to think that maybe I have to take a deeper look at some of the defensive looks he's getting in the fourth quarter. Maybe they're just trying to slow him down more and slow his pace down. But it's sort of more of the same. He's very, 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 very hard to stop in the first half. Second half kind of takes a background role. But they won the game. He played phenomenal defense. I can't complain. I'll give him an A-.
All right, let's move on to Matisse Thybulle. Another game where the stats do not give enough justice to how dominant this guy was on defense. He had 5 points, 3 boards, 2 steals, and 4 blocks. I was just blown away by his just perimeter defense all night long. Go ahead, Jack. What would you give Matisse Thybulle tonight?
I give him a B+. I mean, he played great. He does exactly what he needs to do. A couple huge blocks. He had that great block from behind with Kyrie Irving. He was playing great defense the entire night. And then right from that block, he got transition 3 wide open.
Yeah.
He played great. Matisse wins, and that's what we need from Matisse.
Go ahead.
We don't need to.
Basically the same thing that Jack said. He kind of took the point that I had. So.
Okay. I'm in that A- range, man. I thought Matisse was phenomenal tonight. He's the glue, man. He's the energy. Him and Norvel Pelle, man. I love that little pick and roll we got to see between Norvel and Matisse. That was fun. But man, Matisse is just the glue guy, the energy guy. That is just, I love hearing that Brett wants to get this guy more involved come playoff time. Let's talk about Josh Richardson. A little bit of a quiet night. Jay Rich finished with 15 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. He did have 3 blocks. I'm trying to think of the blocks here. They're not really ringing here. What grade would you give Jay Rich? Go ahead, Jack.
I give him a B. I mean, offensively, he was okay, but defense, like I said, I feel like everybody had a really good defensive night tonight, and that really showed. I think he really was very good at dominating. I remember the one play he's fighting for the ball and he lost it, but he was playing pretty good defense, and I'm not really. I mean, he's not going to drop the points he's been dropping every single night. That's not his job. His job is to be a exciting, athletic 2-guard that can defend and get shots off. And he did exactly that. I give him a B.
Go ahead, Austin.
I think with Josh, one aspect that we're not talking about is his rebounding in this game was really, really, really something that was sorely missed. He ended up coming up with a couple of key rebounds in this game to close things out. And I think he sort of adapted into this closer role. He wasn't the focal point tonight, but I think overall he's produced some pretty solid numbers for the team. I'll give him a B tonight.
I think B sounds good. I totally forgot about the Josh Richardson block on Kyrie Irving. Of course, I can't forget that. I'm right around a B. I thought he was just slow and steady. When you see Joel Embiid out, it's really up to Josh Richardson and Tobias Harris who's going to pick up the pace on offense. If one guy's going to give you this production back and forth, I'm good with that until Joel comes back. Let's go to my boy, Norvel Pelle. Norvel Pelle finished with 4 points, 7 boards, 2 blocks. A+. He's my favorite player. Go ahead, Jack.
I give him a B plus. I mean, he did exactly. I mean, like Matisse, Norvel did Norvel things. He did. You don't need everything from him. You need a few things, and he did those few things. I think he did great. What he needed to do. Obviously, it sucks that this is probably almost near the end of the road for Norvel. So I wish him the best of luck down in Delaware. Obviously, we'll be talking about extensively. I wish he could have come up and joined the main squad, but I think he'll be a full-time Sixer come next season.
I don't know if you guys saw the little pregame workout of him like dancing on the 3-point line.
I love his dancing. I
love Norvel Pelle, man. Everyone knows that, but dude, that guy is just a lightning rod of energy. Austin, what grade would you give Norvel Pelle?
I think I'd give him a C tonight. Maybe a B minus. I don't blame him for like not being for making some of the mistakes that I saw that he made, because he's a rookie and he's just trying to get to the NBA speed. I still think he fouls a little bit too. I think he defends a little bit too much with his body sometimes instead of just defending straight up. There's sometimes where he's out of position, but I think largely he does a really good job of cutting straight to the basket off of screens, and I think he's a good rim protector. I give him a C. Sorry, a B minus.
All right, yeah. Serious time. Yeah, I'm right around that B minus range. I love the energy Norvel Pelle brings. Anytime Matisse and Norvel on the court is a win for me personally. Let's go on to Furkan Korkmaz, who had humongous back-to-back three-pointers in that fourth quarter. What grade would you give Furkan Korkmaz? Go ahead, Austin.
He would have been at an A for me, but the rest of that fourth quarter, after he got the putback on those two missed free throw, he was largely not great. I would give him a B plus.
Go ahead, Jack.
He was shooting great, and then he kind of shot a lot. I mean, he was great, and then it's just like, I'm like, why keep shooting? Like,
Kobe.
I was gonna say, like, when did he become Jordan? All of a sudden?
I know. There's a point in the game where he just like kept jacking up three after three after three. That's what Furkan does, man. When he's feeling it, and the worst part is Ben feeds into it, and sometimes it's a little like just slow your roll a little bit, Furkan. Slow your roll. Is there any other players you want to talk about? Let's look into.
I will say this about Matisse. I forgot to say this about Matisse. Sorry.
Go ahead, man.
I thought, with Thibault, it's hard because we want to evaluate him in a vacuum. I think you have to evaluate him within the role that he plays on his team, and I think most nights, unless he's dribbling the ball off his foot like he was the first week, or he's unplayable on offense, or I thought he was an A tonight. He's always active. He's a silent blocker. He comes out of nowhere and blocks shots all the time. I think he's very, very, very aware of himself defensively, which is more than you can ask about of most rookies.
Dude, I'm calling it right now, man. Matisse Thibault gives you championship quality. He's a championship quality role player that every team needs. He is that good. I love what I'm seeing from Matisse, and obviously he's not going to start come playoff time, but I mean, if you can get 30 minutes out of Matisse come playoff time, the amount he brings on defense, that energy, that defense, obviously that's everything, man. They need that guy, especially when the Sixers go into these the defensive lapses where they can't stop anybody. He is such a key player on this team. Any last comments before we wrap this up, man? Go ahead, Austin.
Good win, but let's not let this pull the wool over our eyes. They do have blatant issues. I think most nights the coach is an issue. But having said that, keep getting every win you can get without Joel Embiid. And I said it earlier, I'll say it again right now. I have a weird feeling that this team is going to surprise a lot of people in the playoffs. I think that they saw what happened with Kawhi last year, and they said, well, this is a different animal in playoffs, and it affected them as a team where they were all trying, but now they're all again just keep it as sort of an airplane mode, or not an airplane mode, but an autopilot setting for the first 82, and then we're really going to go after this thing after that. And so I think that we are in for a very pleasant surprise. I don't know why I think it. I just think it.
I mean, you look at the free throw disparity between these two teams, like probably 75% of the game, the Sixers were getting killed at the free throw line, and they finished with only 5 less free throws in this game. So I got to look at that second half. There had to be some sort of major advantage there for the Sixers. Any last comments, Jack, before we wrap it up?
I'm just glad Matisse started this game. Mike Scott should never start a game for the 76ers ever again. Never.
I fully agree.
He shouldn't be near
leg today.
He should never be on a basketball court for the Sixers ever again. No, I don't mean that, but I kind of do. I don't know.
All right, make sure you follow Austin on Twitter at KrellTPL. Follow Jack on Twitter at JackConnellTPL. For Austin, for Jack, for myself. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay off, baby.
Sixers win it! Wow! Oh man, Embiid just posterized Russell Westbrook.
You love the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me get it.